Hi, Rocky Outcrop here. A bunch of friends in the live chat community just asked me to take a look at some cryptocurrencies. We're going to be taking a look at Cardano, we're going to be taking a look at Matic, and we're going to be taking a look at Cake, and maybe even we'll take a look at Dogecoin in this little section. Wow, how about that? That's cool, crypto peeps. They'd be asking me all that. Somebody just said to me as well, hey Rocky Outcrop, can you tell us what Tezos is all about? And I can. Just before we jump into the technical analysis, there's a good question coming in from Ape Nation NFT. Is that right? Yeah, right. So what we're looking at there with Tezos is a cryptocurrency which has got a sort of self-amending ledger, which is actually on the blockchain itself, so there are never any hard forks. It's essentially a platform kind of utility blockchain cryptocurrency in the same manner that you are probably aware of with regards to Ethereum. But of course, its transaction fees and everything like that are much smaller. And of course, it's a more efficient network on many levels. There's a lot of evolution there, a great community. It's actually a really strong cryptocurrency. It's had a really low price, suppressed price for quite a while. Sure, it's got a big market cap, just like a lot of other ones, but it has been a lot higher in the past on the old sort of leaderboard thing. It's a bit of a dark horse in crypto. Recently adopted a lot of things like DeFi. We've got Quippy Swap, fantastic stuff. Hardly anybody talking about it out there. Great people in the community. Shout out to Kevin Mahrabi, nice to see you, pal. And we have a decent blockchain cryptocurrency there. It is actually something that I like. Now, am I telling you to invest in it as a financial advice or any of that sort of stuff? No, not at all, not at all. But you can go and you can look at all these things that you're maybe interested in, like NFTs, for example. And of course, I see that in your name, so you probably are aware of them, Ape Nation NFT. That they exist on Tezos as well, and there's a thriving and growing art community there, and you will actually be fairly surprised by what you find if you look into it. So here's the chart actually for Tezos, and we are talking about a movement up towards the sort of $3 region and looking on beyond to 350. Afterwards, if we do see some positive follow through, there is a setup at the minute. I covered it slightly in my Bitcoin episode, but let's start off by taking a quick look at Cardano. Now, it's been a wee while since I've looked at Cardano, my friends, so this is an interesting one. I wonder if my drawings are still up here from the past, and indeed they are, in fact, over there. And whoa, look at that. That was a good trade, wasn't it, Rocky? Pats on backs. Well, yeah, you should have subscribed sooner. Snooze, y'all lose. So where are we right now compared to that downward stroke downward movement there? We're obviously at the 618 right now in that golden pocket region, having come up and tested 786. So we're doing all right, but the movement down there obviously fairly alarming. Let me just show you what I mean by that with the Fibonacci as well, drawn in from this low up to the high. This, by the way, the time frame wise is the 1 hour time frame. You can see it pushed back down below the 382. That's a nice normal enough place for things to get a bounce at, and then carried on up the way, and it has actually now secured so far, at least on a 1 hour closing basis, the 236. Is this a good area for us to be able to get in on? Well, you know, technically it could be, and looking at that same signal that we're seeing across other cryptocurrencies, of course, we've got that little 1 hour cross. It has to be said though that we are a little bit wary. If Bitcoin were to drop below 36,666, then across all of these, I'd probably be a lot more skeptical than I am right now. There is this judicious positive cross that's happening on the DMI. You can see the ADX is below 25, but it's above 20, hence it's orange in here, and there's obviously that positive cross. A lot of potential for us, and we would be aiming up ultimately again towards that $2 zone, but just first off taking out, of course, the 140 zone is what would be required here for you to start to feel positive and looking for that trend. We do have lows and then highs, kind of sideways price action. You could say that this was a higher low, of course, then at that point at that 618 that's kind of laterally formed, and then we've got another high and a low. Can we continue that trend on up the way? Overall, it wasn't too bearishly divergent. Along the way up. Of course, there was instances of it, but that was during like the SPY, in fact, a deceptive movement continued with hidden bullish divergence along the way as well. So beware of that, and hopefully then that lays a bit of groundwork. But like I say, actually just beforehand, there is a degree of caution to be had with regards to some of these. Actually, that's actually a pretty good looking chart overall, but you know, we'll crack on, right? Actually, we'll crack on. So what was the other one we talked about? There was Matic. MATICUSDT. So this is Polygon, and it's another competitor to Ethereum. But the way that this one competes is kind of like a sidechain type of thing. It's not the same as a competitor to Ethereum in the way that you could consider, of course, look at that in the past as well, or technical analysis. Oh, it works, ladies and gents, it works. Woo! You could obviously consider the Tezos to be a sort of direct competitor. This one has some sort of complementary features about it, but indeed it's a good one. And we are looking at this and saying that we've come back up towards our launch pad on this movement up and down the way, of course, taking that out from this area. I mean, 4-hour time frame's not doing it quite so much justice. The daily time frame would show you that we actually only really achieved an 886 pullback there, but we are doing all right. The same scenario with regards to having pulled up the way, come down to that 382, and we're currently above the 236. Do you want to bet? Okay, so that's kind of what we're looking at there. I guess you kind of won the bet in a sense that we didn't actually go as far as the 382 down there, I suppose, in that sense, but we're above the 236, right? And this is a decent enough setup. Now, the moving averages, of course, are splayed out negatively there, and we haven't got that full-on positive setup. But, you know, we did cross quite a while ago on the 1-hour time frame, and we're looking to see if this can translate up the way. This one's not quite as positive in terms of like the divergences or whatever else and that, but we're going to see the same story amongst all of these, right? So what we're going to see the same story amongst all these hidden bullish divergence on these lows on the 4-hour time frame, looking towards higher highs. Can it kick us back in the teeth? It can. We're paying attention to market structure on that front for that one. There was another one, cake. Can you have your cake and eat it? Cake? Nope. F off, not the Cheesecake Factory. We're looking at crypto over here, so USDT, and this is, of course, Pancake Swap, one of the many peer-to-peer networks there for swapping your tokens and trading. And we have the same story again, above the 236, above the small term moving averages, looking pretty decent recovery. Clearly just the 886 off the back of that V shape. If we drop down, taking out our market structure, we're going to be bearish. We're going to be bearish on it until such times as we've really, you know, discovered if we're going down to 1180, that sort of thing again. Currently at $14, feeling pretty good about things, but can we actually push up higher or not? Well, if we don't see prices taking out $17, then they're still in this negative overall bearish structure, right? That's where we're standing on this one until such times as we're back up there talking about a different story, you know, the previous story where we were before. This right now isn't trending up the way. We have got lower lows, lower highs, you know, be very aware of that one. This one a little bit more negative perhaps than the others, but then it has that possibility to have a big resurgence up the way. Look at the levels up, $17 up from $14, $20, etc. thereafter. It's fairly easy to see the numbers kicking up the way. The 1-hour time frame has as well, just like the rest of the markets, and this is me saying this before having looked at it. This is obviously live, but you can see right here that same scenario as we're residing above the 200. Now, maybe we're going to see something slightly different on the old woof Dogecoin over here. This one, of course, Elon Musk's favorite. Is it? I don't know. But anyway, here we have it, and this is looking more or less the same. Bigger movement potential for us. Is that right? Am I being a bit? Am I exaggerating? No, it's about another 50% up from what you're looking at on Tezos, etc. Same signals, same everything here. Worse. Chop on the DMI. So, you know, not positive, not quite there. Meh. Then again, you know, it's been a little bit weaker, and that's why you've got that bigger upside potential there. The 4-hour time frame, yeah, downward sloping ADX. Yes, we're at the area where we could, of course, see a turnaround. We've got a negative cross here in the 4-hour time frame. This one splaying out that story, a little bit less positive on the 1-hour, a little bit more alarming on the 4-hour. Something to bear in mind. What is being borne in mind? Quite simply put, market structure. 19 cents over here, something that I wouldn't be wanting to woof my woofy poop coins down past, but at the minute here we are at 20 cents, and of course I'm sitting pretty looking up towards 22, 24, 27 on the way up the way afterwards. Here we are at the minute doing all right. That's been Rocky Outcrop. This has been crypto technical analysis. I, of course, am just trying to bring up Streamlabs so I can manage this thing. Oh my goodness, bring it up. Right, there we have it. Right, so thanks for tuning in. Please come back again. Be a part of this community. Be a part of this experience. All that amazing stuff. You're the best. Thanks for tuning in.